Thanks for joining me today. Today I'd like to share with you a new American dream, and that's co-housing. For many people around the world, this represents the American dream. A big house with a white picket fence with a big yard around it. And that house might be in a neighborhood like this. And we have done a great job in America exporting this ideal of the American dream all around the globe. And what it has done is created this idea that home is a way to build equity and wealth. It has become a real estate transaction. But for this group of 9 families, in 2010, we decided that we wanted to have a different American dream, one that was about community and connection, and one that was not centered around home being a real estate transaction. We wanted home to symbolize belonging, to symbolize support from a family and from friends. For us, home meant security and a sense of well-being. And most importantly, home was a place for community. So with that in mind, we set out to find a piece of property here in the heart of a very big city in Seattle. You can see downtown is very close by, within easy walking distance, and we have a very large park nearby and all of the grocery stores and restaurants that we need. On the right, there's a picture of our street and our neighborhood. There's lots of restaurants and places to visit with our friends. That park nearby is a place that we gather. And the picture on the lower left is me and my family walking in our neighborhood. Our property is very small. In a big city like Seattle, a single family house often takes the space of 5,000 square feet for the land. 5,000 square feet is just a little bit under 400 or about 500 or 50 square meters. Our property is actually 42 square meters. And this is the building as it was being constructed and once it was completed on the right-hand side. And you can see the building next door is just a very similar size to our building. This is what the building looks like from the outside. You can see that we have a very large garden on the roof. This upper roof, you'll see a photo. Since this photo was originally taken, we actually have installed some solar panels to generate power. And this drawing helps to illustrate the ideas about our home. Bottom here, you see a doorway that's yellow. And that gate, once you walk through the gate, you're in a corridor that's yellow. And it takes you to the elevator that you can take upstairs, or more importantly, it takes you by the bikes, and you walk upstairs to a courtyard where you might see your neighbors. And just inside the courtyard is the common house, where we usually have meals together and there's lots of activity happening inside there. As you take the stairs up, you can access each of the homes. And then when you take it all the way to the roof, there is a garden at the top. And then, like I said, above that roof, there's another roof that has our solar panels. So this is what our roof looks like. Garden beds, raised garden beds for us to grow our own produce. And the garden is in the sky. So we used every piece of land that we could. At the street level, you can see here, this is my office on the ground floor. And it's a busy street, so lots of people walking by. And this is a typical floor plan. On each floor, there are 3 homes. The homes are accessed by the stair and an elevator, but more importantly, this balcony that is outside so that you can see your neighbors coming and going. The 3 homes are range in size from 810 square feet to 1,300 is the largest one. And they are 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom homes. The 2 units here face into the courtyard. And this home, because we were not able to, for fire safety reasons, their kitchen faces out to the west. This is a slice through the building. If you were to take the wall, the south wall off, you can see that the homes, there are 6 homes facing the front, 3 homes facing the back. This is our common house. On the back side, the street is 1 level higher than it is on the front side of the building. That's why the building steps. So on the back side, the common house is accessed from an alleyway. And on the front of the building, the street is a main street in town. Our office is on the ground floor here. And this is really where all of the activity happens, around this courtyard and in this courtyard. In co-housing in the US and in other parts of the country, there's usually a lot of land. This is an example of a co-housing community we designed in Oregon. And when you have a lot of land, you can have a central spine like this, a pedestrian spine, where the people can walk and access all of their homes. They might leave their cars on the sides of the property, and then they walk into the community and they access their homes and their common house. We did not have that much land. We had a very small piece of land, so we went vertical. So we took that same pedestrian spine that usually goes horizontally, and we turned it sideways. And that way we could see all the people coming and going from their homes. And so when you're inside the homes, you can see your neighbors coming and going from their homes. And you can also see when people are hanging out outside together. And from those outdoor balconies and our homes, if you look down into the courtyard, this is what you see all throughout the year. In the summertime, the wintertime, in the daytime, in the evenings, the weekends, and the weeknights, there's always some sort of activity happening in the courtyard. We've even had concerts in the courtyard. So having a musician come and play at the bottom, and then people can sit on the balconies above to listen to the music. And we've had 60 people in the building to listen to concerts. In the summertime, we eat outdoors. So our meals are in the common house or in the courtyard. And the rest of the year, we have them inside in the common house. This room is just inside this door. Well, before COVID, we had meals together 3 times a week. Inside the kitchen, the dining room, there's also a kitchen. So you can see here, actually all 3 of these pictures here show different groups of people making dinner together. Sometimes it's very elaborate where we're making fresh pasta. Other times it's a simple meal. This is actually me cooking. I'm making bibimbap for my community members. And sometimes the children make the meals for everybody. These are some additional pictures of other activities that happen in the building. This is the walking school bus. My neighbors Sheila and Spencer like walking the children to school. So this one year there were 3 children that would walk to school together, and so they would walk them. And then this is a work party where we were doing some gardening out in the front of the building. We use all of our building to have our social activities. So in the summertime, we eat up on the roof. We entertain and have parties inside of our homes like everybody else. And we celebrate birthdays. We have spontaneous events. Like if somebody wants to make cookies or scones, they make an announcement and people come down and share. I mentioned to you we had solar panels on the roof. So we had these installed this summer. They're photovoltaic panels that generate electricity. It's mostly for the common areas, and whatever electricity we don't use, it goes back to the electric company. People are always interested about our homes, and so here's some pictures. This is my home, and a picture of my family. This is our neighbors, Julie and Benny, and you can see their home is quite different than ours. And this is Sheila and Spencer's home, also quite different. You can see in these photographs how everybody's individual personality is reflected in the design of their home. And it's not because the apartments are designed differently. Each of the homes are pretty similar in each stack. It's really the paint and the furniture and the people's personal belongings. You know, Spencer plays guitars and likes music. And so all of those types of things are expressed in people's homes. Before COVID and before the pandemic caused us all to stay home, loneliness was a very big deal, a pandemic itself. All around the country, all around the US, but also all around the world, people were experiencing loneliness, and it was becoming a very big health concern. With COVID, it has only gotten worse. And our community, because we wanted to be very safe, as soon as we found out that this was a problem in the US, we stopped meeting, we stopped having dinners together. In March of this year, everything just stopped. And we immediately went to Zoom, which is an online web platform, and had meetings twice a week to talk about what was happening and to share information, to help each other not be scared about what was happening. We shared meals together. We had a lot of good meetings. And pretty quickly, within a couple of months, we were Zoomed out. We had too many meetings because not only was our community meeting on the computer and on the video, all of our work, our schools, everything went to video, and we were just tired. And so we really, because we had been used to having dinners together 3 times a week and seeing each other in the hallways and doing activities together, it was very difficult to all of a sudden stop and have everything only happen by the computer. So we tried from about, I think, April or May, we tried very hard to do things in person, wearing masks and being safe and keeping distant, but still trying to celebrate each other's lives. So we celebrated birthdays. And in this picture, there's some people wearing masks and some people aren't. Everybody is 6 feet away, and the people that are close together are families. So this is one family, this is another family. We've always been very, very cognizant of keeping people safe because we have people that have health concerns and some health problems, and also just older people, to make sure that everyone was being safe. Our garden was very productive this year. We had lots of produce. These little kids helped to distribute some of the radishes and some of the produce to everybody's home. We did outdoor movies on the roof. And we played games. We did everything that we could to be creative. This is a bingo game where we set up downstairs and had families sitting upstairs with their bingo cards playing bingo. We did everything that we could to be together, whether it was exercising or singing together. We celebrated the start of school. And we had lots of meals together outside. We were lucky that we could do this in the summertime. And now that it's gotten to be colder, we have transitioned. We have found creative ways to use our indoor space to have meals together. Since we used to have meals together 3 times a week with everybody, we developed a new program where 2 or 3 families would eat together, and we converted our entryway. Remember at the beginning I showed you the picture of the entrance from the street? This is what our entryway looks like. So we bought some tables, and this allowed us to have 2 or 3 families eat together while physically staying 6 feet apart. And then because there's air movement, this is not a heated space. You can see everyone has their coat on and their hats on and blankets because it's cold. And so there's lots of air circulation, and so we're doing what we can to be safe. We've also used that space. You can see our gate here. This is the street out in front. We've used that space to do community events. Like in October, there is a holiday called Halloween, so we carved pumpkins for Halloween, and the children dress up in costumes, and so we had them do trick-or-treating around the building, and we decorated, and we had a dance party. And we've had lots of dance parties. We've tried to find lots of reasons to celebrate, and with our most recent election, when the president was finally announced, we had a big dance party on our roof. In the next few minutes, I just want to share a few examples of other co-housing projects that we have designed. This one is Daybreak Co-housing in Portland, Oregon. There are 4 buildings surrounding this very large maple tree and some open space, you'll see in a minute. So this is the tree that we were told we had to design around. There are 2, 3, and 4-story buildings, that surround that space. And there's lots of garden space there. Underneath the tree, there's a large open space. This is where, when it rains, all of the gardens around the perimeter fill up with water and then slowly allow the water to go underneath this lawn. And you can see that there's decks and balconies, so people upstairs can look down into the open space. It's a little bit like my community, but bigger. They had more land. And this is a meal in the summertime outside. In the rest of the year, they eat inside. This is one of their meals. And they have a very large kitchen with commercial equipment, so they can prepare meals. They have 30 families, where I have 9 families in my community. This is a private entrance to a home, and their dining room and kitchen area, and a private living room. So that's what a house at Daybreak looks like. A couple of other examples of projects that we have in design right now. Adams Creek is in Hood River, Oregon. This is a community workshop that we did early on, in engaging the residents and having them participate about how the buildings should be designed and how the site should be designed. And this is their site plan, so they park here on the side of the building, or side of the property. There's 4 buildings, and there's a creek that runs through it with lots and lots of trees. So this is a drawing of what it might look like, and a picture from the street where you would enter the building, or enter the property. And this is a rendering of the project. This is Skagit Co-housing in Anacortes, Washington. This one is about to start construction. There are 6 buildings in this project, and again, the residents helping to design their future home. We had lots of workshops and had them participate in the design process. This is an image of what the building will look like when they're finished. There's both townhouses, so smaller 2-story homes, and then the common house here in the middle. And then in the background is a 3-story building that has apartments and served by an elevator. And then from that taller building, you can see the city beyond and the beautiful scenery of the city that this is located in. So a few other urban co-housing examples. The ones I just showed you are very suburban and rural. And I understand in Seoul that the property is very different. So I wanted to share some other urban co-housing projects, not designed by my office. This one is in Maryland, and it's a renovation of an old office building, and they converted it into co-housing for about 50 families, I think. So you can see that there's exterior balconies and lots of places to grow plants, and everybody can see each other, and then a big courtyard with trees in the bottom. This is Keyside Village up in Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. It is a 4-story building with a little grocery store at the corner. And this is 27 families. Durham Co-housing is in Durham, North Carolina. It is designed for 30 families. This is a very big complex. The homes are very large in this building. And then this is a senior co-housing project in Portland, Oregon. And you can see from the outside, it looks like this. It's 4 stories. And then there is a courtyard, kind of like Daybreak, in the center, where all of the homes look into the courtyard. So with that, I will leave you just with a few resources. If you're interested in reading more or hearing some interviews, And then there's a case study with some other urban co-housing examples at the bottom. Thank you so much for being here.